Ladies and gentlemen, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, and thank you for always coming back to support our channel and watch our videos. The Supreme Court, which is the highest court of the land in Kenya, ruled that the BBI is null and void. According to the Supreme Court, the BBI process was flawed. It did not involve the Wanchikus, and it was initiated by the president. On those aspects, the court ruled that BBI is null and void. Now, this ruling was received in different factions in different ways. For example, the UDA brigade celebrated this ruling as if it was their petition. The Azimio people, on the other hand, said they will review and revisit the court's rulings. However, it is evident that one group benefited from this ruling, and there is another group that lost in this ruling. In this petition and this discussion today, I assume and assert that those who lost were not members of UDA, and those who lost were not members of Azimio. Therefore, who lost in this BBI ruling? Now, before I tell you what I think or who I think lost in this discussion or on this BBI ruling, please take a minute or two or even 1 second to share this link with your friends. And if you are bumping in this channel for the first time and you have not subscribed, please consider subscribing so that next time we produce a video like this, YouTube is going to automatically notify you that we have uploaded a video. William Ruto is the biggest loser in this BBI ruling. Surprising, right? This is surprising, I know, to some of you, but to those who are politically who politically see far, we know that William Ruto is the biggest loser in this BBI ruling. How? BBI was proposing for an expanded executive. For example, there was to be a president, then there was to be the position of the prime minister, the two deputy prime ministers. William Ruto will have easily utilized this BBI to expand his UDA political party in the following ways. One, he will have been able to absorb easily people like Mudavadi. He will have absorbed people like Wetangula, people like Gachagua, people like Alice Wahome. He will have gone to the coast and given the people in the coast a position. He will also have gone to the lower eastern and given the people a position. He will also have gone to the rift and given them a position, so that every person will feel well accommodated in the UDA party. However, he did not foresee that. And if he foresaw that, then he realized it very late, that indeed he was opposing a document that will have played in his favor. For example, he is not now able to determine who is going to be his deputy. He is not able to choose between Mudavadi or Gachagua or Alice Wahome. He is not able. But these people have been easily accommodated inside if the BBI will have passed. The second loser in this BBI ruling is you and me. Surprising, right? Yes, Kenyans are the biggest losers in this BBI ruling. Why? Because the process actually involved Kenya's resources. We spent our time, we spent our revenue, our resources, we spent our personnel in this BBI ruling. We initiated committees. These committees were paid allowances. Some of them were salaried. And number two is that BBI was proposing for an increase of 35% revenue, which will have been released to the county governments. Remember, this will have been an increase from the current 15% to 35%. I want you to imagine what we have been able to achieve using 15% and what we'll have been able to achieve through the 35% increment. So without saying much, we Kenyans, we are the best, the highest losers in this BBI ruling. BBI was also proposing for creation of 17 new constituencies for those regions that were underrepresented. For example, Nairobi was to get 12 new constituencies. That would have meant more resources to Nairobi County. Mombasa or Coast in general was to get 10 new constituencies, and that will have meant more resources being devolved to the at the constituency levels. Rift Valley in general was to get 11 constituencies together with the Mount Kenya region, which was also equally to get 11 constituencies. So when you look at the larger picture, you realize that indeed it is us Kenyans who have lost in this document, because these resources that were to come to the counties and the constituencies will remain at the national treasury. So we are actually the biggest losers in this BBI ruling. Then the BBI was also proposing for what we call fighting corruption. Viewers, you can agree with me that corruption has been cancer, and it is the biggest thorn in our flesh today. BBI was proposing that any case involving corruption was to be concluded within 90 days and perpetrators be brought to book. Unfortunately, most of us were opposing BBI blindly, just because William Ruto said BBI is bad, and he said that because of his hatred to Uhuru Kenyatta and Raila Amolo Odinga, actually who were the vision carriers of the BBI. The document, as we know, was not going to benefit Uhuru or Raila. But William Ruto carried the narrative even to the people of the mountain that, look, BBI is bad. Look at us now. Who is laughing now? We have lost these 17 new constituencies, and we have lost things to do with fighting corruption. But again, another loser is the youth, because BBI was proposing for 30% employment opportunities at the county level for the youth and women and people living with disabilities. We have lost that one. BBI was also proposing for a 70-year term before students start paying HELB loans. So you see, we are the biggest losers. Youth, women are the biggest losers. However, Mount Kenya region is also the biggest loser, I want you to remember that Mount Kenya has been fighting for 1 man, 1 shilling, 1 vote, which was a puzzle which was to be actually solved within the BBI premise. Now that the BBI has collapsed, Mount Kenya, which actually has the highest population, and that means they are the highly underrepresented people in Kenya, they are going to continue to struggle with the underrepresentation. Now, the question is, who are the winners in this BBI ruling? Who are the winners? Who have won? Are these people who are celebrating the BBI collapse winners? In my view, they are not the true winners. The true winners here are Raila Amolo Odinga and Uhuru Kenyatta, and the Azimio people in general. Why? Because if the court had ruled in favor of BBI, for example, it would not have been possible to hold a referendum right now. It will not have been able to create the 70 new constituencies, and it will not have been easy for the IEBC to collect resources, mobilize people quickly, and hold a referendum in this time. It will have been a total mess. It will have plunged the country into chaos, and therefore this ruling, in my view, I think the winners of this ruling and the biggest beneficiaries is actually the president, IEBC, and Raila Amolo Odinga. I don't know, but these are my views. Please let me know what you think.